right, good morning, guys. We have a statewide tornado drill that begins at 10:15. I'm going to try to be just a little bit quiet because we've got an interview in the other studio. But we are live here this morning. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a severe risk for our Wednesday. There's going to be a chance for strong to severe storms tomorrow morning and also in the afternoon and early evening time. So we're going to have to watch out for that. And also at 10:15 this morning, it is the statewide tornado drill. And that is when it is a good time for you, your family, your business, your organization to practice that severe weather safety plan. So we're talking about heavy rain, some thunderstorms, all the hazards on the table for tomorrow. We could get a strong round tomorrow morning. We'll look at that with the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. We could get a strong round in the afternoon and evening time as well. I'm going to try to talk just a little bit softer because, again, they're having an interview right over there. But again, a lot to cover here this morning, and we are going to get to all of it here over the next few minutes. And Emmanuel saying, good morning. Holy SBC updated the severe risk. That is wild. And we've got Dennis Gregory with a good morning from Bedford. Awesome temperatures this morning. Got a 7 a.m. walk-in. Very nice there. Good morning. We got cloudy 62. We're also near record high temperatures for today as well, in the mid to upper 70s. And we got a good morning from Beverly Hagist. In bed sick with flu B. That is no good. Hey, Wyatt Wright, good morning to you. And again, as I mentioned, things are quiet this morning. Enjoy the nice warm up today with me. And here's a look at the radar. It's 7 hours off to bring it up to the stage. Again, if you're just popping in, 10:15 this morning. I don't think they've canceled it. Sometimes they'll cancel it if there's some weather on the way. But this is in coordination with a lot of different government agencies, and it is part of severe weather. So we'll see if we hear those tornado sirens here in just about 10 minutes. So let me know in your area, in your neck of the woods, if you hear some of those tornado sirens out there today at 10:15. So don't be alarmed if you hear that. Pun intended, I guess. But thanks for joining us here. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. This is Ben at 10. I'm trying to be just a little bit quieter for a second because, again, we're filming an interview at one room over in the Extol Media Studios here in Uptown, New Albany, Indiana. We'll get to some of your comments and questions here in just a second. And good timing for this statewide tornado drill, as we do have tomorrow, which we are going to time out and break down. Could see about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall tomorrow on top of that, so some localized flooding could be an issue. And I was just checking the audio and video, and I can hear myself even when I'm talking fairly quiet. Gremlins today. You ever have one of those days? I was driving into work. I hit every barrier there possibly was. Construction. There was a bunch of traffic on I-65. Rerouted all over the place. You get into work, you got to restart a computer, messing with mics and everything. So Tuesday, the day of gremlins around here. So let's take a look at our comments. And again, we'll get into all of the nitty gritty here with the severe weather potential tomorrow. May have wind chills in the 20s Thursday morning. Back in mild weather, 60s, low 70s Saturday, Sunday. And then we might have some snow showers on Monday and a cold start next week with some below freezing temperatures back. That's nice of John Fox there. Mrs. Haggis, hope you feel better very soon. I'll have to step out. It's loud at work. It's a little loud around here too. An interview over here, as I mentioned. Who else we got popping in the comments this morning? We've got Perry Porter with the coffee here. Hey, I've got something. Oh, yesterday, Custom Cake has been in business for. But cheers to you guys. I'm actually doing something different. This is English morning black tea. Something a little different this morning after the black. Erica Risotto, thanks for tuning in this morning from Charlestown. 65 degrees in Madison and cloudy. And let's get to some of our forecast information here. If you're new to the program, this has been a 10. Again, right now I'm being a little bit more quiet. And we are going to break down our current conditions, severe weather threat, some of our partners here in just a second. We'll dig into the weather model data, which we typically do right around 10. If you hear it again in your area. We also have, I think your mic drops out randomly. I hope it doesn't. We've had some issues here this morning with the mic a little bit. Get feeling better, Beverly. We've got Donna. Hey, big in the house. Summer, spring, winter, all in 1 week. I've got a joke about that. Stay tuned for that. Michael Long in the house this morning, loving the temperatures. Yeah, I got t-shirt weather today, mid to upper temperature. Our weather. It'll be mostly out to our west tonight, but tomorrow, early morning, mid-morning, parts of Indiana could get clipped by some of the strong weather. We'll see that with the Storm Prediction Center's maps here in just a second. And then a chillier weather, especially Thursday morning, and then back to some 60s on Saturday, and trying to hold off that rain until late Sunday, because I've actually got my first golf scramble of the year planned with Michael Long right there in the comments. Erica, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that sound going in and out. Hopefully we'll get it going here in just a second. Doing better. Something up with the microphone. So bear with me here. Yeah, I know. The mic is going in. Hey, Jason, can you hear me? Something up with the mic going in and out. Trying to get this microphone. So bear with me. Tornado drill here. So I hear the mic on my Facebook. We'll keep on going. We'll see how it goes here. I did that the other day as well. Everything's connected good, I think. Everything's wired in how it should be. I don't know. We'll just keep going. If it goes in and out, it goes in and out, and we'll try better next time. Let's get back to the weather graphics here. So this is the breakdown from the National Weather Service. So this is round one. This would be an enhanced risk of severe weather, northwestern Indiana. That's where there's a higher chance of some tornadoes. And then level 2, a slight risk up through Indianapolis. And then much of our area here in southern Indiana under level 1. So tomorrow morning, we'll just keep an eye on it. We're just kind of on the edge of threat for tomorrow morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, and notice this shows around 4 until 10 a.m. We're going to try a couple mics here just in case one is acting up. Let's see if that works or not. All right. We're going to double up the power here. Let's see if this helps out. All right. So this is round 1 tomorrow morning. And all hazards tomorrow are going to be on the table. So we're talking about the risk of damaging winds, our main threat. There could be an isolated spin-up tornado. There could be some hail involved in this. But tomorrow morning, there's what we call a cap, and that can kind of put a lid on the severity of the severe weather in southern Indiana. Now, that lid is not as strong over central and northwestern Indiana and areas out to the west. So round 1 is kind of marginal. We'll see how that acts. The HRRR high-resolution rapid refresh weather model, which we'll see in here in just a second, did show some pretty strong storm potential tomorrow. And then this is, again, the breakdown slides from the National Weather Service here in Louisville for tomorrow afternoon and early evening. Now, this time frame shows around 2 until 8 p.m. And that red area is where there could be a little great, see that red circle to the northeast of Louisville? That could be just a more enhanced area where there's the potential of some tornadoes as well, a little higher potential there. And again, thanks for letting me know about the mic. I've got two mics working now, so we're trying to get it worked out here on a Gremlin Tuesday. I'm saying ever since I got up, there's been stuff going on this Tuesday, March the 10th. All right. So okay, Orlean, I think we got it going better. Emmanuel saying no biggie. The test siren should be in 2 minutes. Thank you, Erica. I think this mic's working better for whatever reason. You're not dropping out now. Good deal. I think we're back in business here. And once that interview is over with here in just a second, I'll be able to speak louder. All right. One more cheers from Big Happy. Here's the black tea. All right. Let me know again in 1 minute if we get I'll see if it pops up on the maps too, the tornado drill here. Okay, here is, again, that risk of severe storms. Let's look at this in a little more detail. So this would be round 2 of severe storms. And there is a slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay, Erica just heard it in Charlestown. Thank you for that report there. And again, it's just a good idea to make sure you're thinking about severe weather, your severe weather plan. Boom, there we go in Sellersburg. And Jeff Siren, thank you very much. Let me see if it's popping up on the weather maps as well. So again, this is part of Indiana Severe Weather Preparedness Week and Flooding Week, which tomorrow we could be kind of dealing with a little bit of both. Let me pull up a graphic here. Seeing if yeah, it did pop into the screen here. So let me get rid of this and add this. So this is at extolmag.com/weather. That red area, there we go. I just heard it here in New Albany. There's the outdoor warning sirens. So it's just a drill. Okay, so there we go. So there's the drill on the map. So this is in coordination with a lot of different government agencies, even I think the state police, just all practicing for severe weather this week. So and Erica got it on the phone. All right. So everything's working good for the statewide drill. Perry Porter says it's going off in Borden. The siren's going off in Henryville. Thank you, Christy Hamilton. Beverly hearing it in Borden. Laying in bed with the flu bee. That's no good. Good morning from Crestwood. Mary Netherly, thanks for tuning in here. Again, Erica got it on the phone. All right, boom. Throughout the state, Indianapolis to southern Indiana, we got the tornado drill. There we go. This is just a drill. And I can hear them going off still here in uptown New Albany. All right. We got the drill out of the way, and now it's time to dig into the weather. We got 60s here, guys. It is a warm start. And take a look at, we've got some cloudy conditions, but despite the clouds, I think we'll see a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. And while there could be an isolated brief passing shower, most of today is going to be dry. Our record high is 78, set back in 2009, and I think we're going to get pretty close to that today. Notice the Ohio River is swelling up a little bit. It is below flood stage, but it is getting a little bit higher. We can take a look at those latest levels here in just a second. But okay, thank you very, very much, Orlean. And Alex Rainbolt, a weather fanatic, can confirm the siren in New Albany. Thank you very much. Jennifer, nice and loud in New Albany. I heard it too. That is a reminder too that we don't rely on outdoor warning sirens for our alerts. Those are for activities outdoors, and typically in urban areas, always make sure you've got a couple ways to get those alerts. Since we're talking about the potential severe weather, we got to be extra weather aware tomorrow. So obviously have your phone charged up, your alerts on, and then always good to have a weather radio too as a secondary backup. All right, so we've got the drill out of the way. Wayne Pretty saying they just put out the drill scares you when we are under a risk of severe, but thankfully the risk is tomorrow. So I'm actually glad that they did it today in preparation for our severe threat tomorrow. And what I'm kind of hoping tomorrow is if we can get some showers and thunderstorms in here, and that would kind of settle down the atmosphere, or it could for tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow's threat is what we call conditional on if we get a lot of clouds and rain in the morning time, we don't clear out, and then the afternoon would be weaker. Either way, there could still be a couple rounds of strong to severe storms, and we're going to take a look at that with the HER weather model here in just a second. Judy, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. Mary Dale's here in New Albany. Beverly says, got the text on the phone, but the weather radio didn't go off. That could be some issue with the local radio tower transmitter, perhaps. But thanks for letting me know about that. So that has been, our sirens are going off now here in New Albany. And looks like they are done. And that was your Indiana tornado drill of 2026, part of Indiana Severe Weather Preparedness Week, right on time with a severe weather threat tomorrow. All right, let's get to some of our, since Michael Long is watching, let me go ahead and bring this guy up right here. He's watching out for you. And if you don't have a great relationship with your insurance company, you might want to look somewhere else. Because when life throws a big curveball at you, which it has to us in the past, this guy has really helped us out. And you might maybe find you ways to save as well. Tell him I sent you for a quote, 812-578-3072. You can also just go to amfam.com and search Michael Long. It'll take you right to that page right there. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. I want to thank our partners here at Lions Roofing, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. We're coming up to March 15th, the one-year anniversary of the Southern Indiana hailstorm. A lot of insurance agencies, speaking of insurance, will give you up to a year to make that claim. If you want to get your roof checked out, give Lions Roofing a call, 812-294-3595. You can also go right here to lionsroofingco.com. And it was this time last year when a tree went through my mom's roof, and they helped repair the roof. And it is Tuesday, so that's a reminder. It is Tuesdays at the Tech. You can go right here to campuses, to the Sellersburg campus right there at Highway 311 and I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. You belong here, and you can go to Tuesdays at the Tech right there, and you get that one-on-one help that we talk about a lot. There's dozens of programs that they offer there for you. You can also click on the Ivy Experience and get a little bit of a taste of what's going on there at Ivy Tech Community College. Giving you a jump start too if you're a high schooler, get that dual free credit. My son is doing that with chemistry and I believe English, and he's got a tough load this year. He's got AP chemistry, and then he's got AP calculus. Rough stuff. I want to thank our partners here at Clogbusters Plumbing Service. With all the rain on the way, if you have any issues with that in your home, you can give them a call, bottom right-hand corner at Clogbusters with a Z. You can see that in the upper left-hand corner, clearing the way one flush at a time. They've got service vehicles to help you out through the Commonwealth. So again, thanks to our partners for allowing us to do what we do here every day. We're at a cloudy sky, and it's 10:21. So that means it's about time to break down, again, the timing of that severe weather threat. So let's get cruising through our forecast here. Get rocking and rolling. Yeah, calculus, trigonometry, all that stuff. But hopefully this is the last math that he'll ever have to do in his life, depending on what he goes into school for. So again, warm, breezy, mostly dry today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. The record high is 78, set back in 2009. Rain and storms for Wednesday. Chilly Thursday. Could see wind chills in the 20s Thursday morning, and around 50 Thursday afternoon, 60s on Saturday. That's phenomenal for the St. Patrick's Parade. in Louisville. So tomorrow morning, the threat mostly off to our northwest, but keeping a close eye on that. We could have a few warnings tomorrow morning in southern Indiana mainly. And then that bigger threat goes into Kentucky as we go into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. And as I mentioned, all of those severe weather threats that we talk about are on the table. Damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, large hail, frequent cloud to ground lightning, blinding rainfall, and can't rule out a spin up tornado as well. There it is. I'll be one of the judges. I'll wave to me. I'll be at O'Shea's on Baxter, 3 until 8 p.m. Saturday. Weather looks great. And then a couple weekends after that, April 4th, mark your calendars for Jessica's Journey Foundation benefit concert at Melwood Arts Center, Juicebox Heroes and the Suburbans, and live music, food, drinks, and a good time. Our countdown here, 10 days until spring begins. We've got 39 days until Thunder over Louisville. Derby Day in 53 days. I think they've wrapped up the interview, so I'm going to talk a little louder now. Derby Day in 53 days, Memorial Day in 75 days, and our weather history for today, which is kind of timely because of the potential severe weather tomorrow. But in 1884, John Park Finley, get this, 1884, issued the first experimental tornado prediction. Finley had studied the atmospheric parameters that were present during previous tornadoes. Many of these same criteria are still used by operational forecasters today. Severe thunderstorms in 1986 and tornadoes hit Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. I do not remember this one. If you do, let me know. A total of 19 tornadoes occurred. 3 of the tornadoes in Indiana reached F3 intensity. And a densely populated subdivision of Lexington, Kentucky was heavily damaged by a tornado. 20 people were injured. 900 homes were destroyed or demolished. And 8 tornadoes touched down in central and southern Indiana, leaving 1 person dead. Again, I don't remember that, but that is, again, kind of timely. March is a wild month that can give us all kinds of severe weather. Okay, here's our stupid weather jokes of the day. Will it be sunny, cloudy, cold, warm, dry, or rainy today? March says yes. That's kind of what we get this time of the year in the Ohio Valley. All right, why are rivers very rich? Speaking of rivers going up, they have 2 banks. What's a rabbit's favorite dance style? Of course, hip hop. To the hip-a-did, hip hip hop. You don't stop. All right, let me speaking of rivers, I was just kind of curious. I might bring this up just a second. Again, we are not under flood stage with the mighty Ohio River. It is at it's down to 16 feet, which is about 7 feet below flood stage. But there are other river systems. The East Fork of the White River going to be going back possibly into moderate flood stage with the rain tomorrow. So I was just checking that out real quick. But back to our, okay, we've got, yeah, Erica, join us out there. And again, O'Shea's, I think that'll be on the right side. If you're kind of walking down Baxter, kind of away from town, that's where we'll be. Good jokes from Orlean. Thank you very much. Lillian Lasley. Saying good jokes as well. Thank you very much. And again, the interview is over. So I feel like I'm being unleashed here. I can speak more loudly now as a police car drives by. All right, let's get to the forecast here this morning. All right, 76 degrees, a near record high today. The record is 78, set back in 2009. South wind at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunset at 7:45. Lillian, loving the jokes. Appreciate that. Our sunset today at 7:45. It's 11 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. In March 26th, 8 p.m. sunsets. So that's not far away, 16 days from now. And we gain like 45 minutes of daylight by that time. May 31st, 9 p.m. sunsets. And we have 14 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. So we're adding like 3 hours of daylight over the next couple of months. And June 20th, that's our latest sunsets. And that's when summer begins, with our longest days of the year at 9:09 p.m. Thank you very much, Beverly. We appreciate that. Loving the longer days and the later sunsets. So tonight, 66 degrees, warm and mostly cloudy. That would be a record warm low temperature. I think the old record warm low temperature is 61, and some rain and thunderstorms likely develop overnight. And watching out early to mid tomorrow morning for the potential of a few severe thunderstorms. And Erica, yes, I need to make it outside as well. I'm trying maybe to get some golf going later on today. We'll see if that happens. All right, we're about to the weather model maps where we'll time out some of the storms on the way. So we've got 60s in the morning, some heavy rain and storm potential there, 70 at noon, and then 72 tomorrow afternoon with another round of some strong to severe storms possible in the afternoon and early evening. I think the morning round is more of an Indiana thing, and I think the afternoon round might be more of a Kentucky thing. We'll see how it plays out. We get into a severe weather day and it's coming in from the west. It turns into what I call a now casting event because you're looking at what's happening now and you're just looking at it kind of minute by minute. So if there are any watches or warnings tomorrow, just heed those watches or warnings. What is a watch? That means conditions are favorable. You have the ingredients for severe weather. You got all the ingredients out on the table, and it could happen. And when you get that warning, like today with the tornado drill at 10:15 this morning, you want to seek shelter right away. So watch is, hey, we're getting ready for it. Heads up. And a warning means take action and seek shelter. Okay, so there we go. Busy Wednesday, but then everything pretty much calms down after that. 37 Wednesday night, and 30s with gusty winds Thursday morning, make it feel like the 20s, and then 51 on Thursday, 61 on Friday, and then 65 for a lovely day for the St. Patrick's Parade Saturday. 72 on Sunday, trying to hold off that rain until late Sunday. That way I can get some golf in. I think the first golf scramble of the year for me. And yep, I did it. We're talking about the four-letter S word. We've dropped it in Monday. We could have some flurries, some light snow showers with upper 30s on Monday. Could be breezy as well with some pretty wicked wind chills, and then 25 Monday night. So we're going to look at this. We're going to spend some time on it with the models basically right now. So let me get rid of that. I'm going to bring something else up to the stage. Let's take a look at the maps. I'm going to bring this up full screen. It is pretty quiet across the area here this morning. As we look at the full screen map, it is mostly cloudy, though. I think we will see some breaks every once in a while. The rain showers are off to our southeast. While I can't completely rule out maybe a brief passing shower today, most areas are going to stay dry and, of course, warm out there as well. All right, so let's get into it. We'll look at the severe weather risks, and we will time out the severe weather risk as well. So this is the severe weather risk today. Now, this does go all the way through the overnight period. That's why we see a slight risk that comes down to parts of southern Indiana. That does include Bedford. So the main risk is off to our northwest tonight. That's where there's a higher risk of tornadoes up around Chicago and into northern Missouri, Springfield, Peoria, Illinois. That's a higher threat of tornadoes for tonight. This would be the overnight and early tomorrow morning risk of a few strong to severe storms in parts of southern Indiana. We just got to watch it and see what happens with that. If it does linger around for a while, that could calm our atmosphere down for the afternoon and put the risk higher off to the east in Kentucky tomorrow afternoon. So let's bring up the day 2 risk of severe weather. And there you can see much of southern Indiana and almost all of Kentucky under a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk category from the Storm Prediction Center. The Storm Prediction Center is a division of the National Weather Service, and their one big job is to look across the United States and see where severe weather might happen. So as we look at the probability of a tornado, the higher risk is up to the northeast. And then as we look at the hail probabilities, overall, not a huge risk of the hail. And then this is the damaging wind potential, which is kind of the same as the area that is the slight risk. Thankfully, there is not a significant tornado added to this area or significant hail. I do want to point out, I don't know how much you follow along with the Storm Prediction Center, but they recently made a little bit of a change to their products. So I'm just going to go over here to, again, extolmag.com/weather. And this is where you can also bring up the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather risks. But they've made something uh, a little bit more defined, I guess you would say. If you click on the tornado risk, there's these hatched areas, and that is the intensity level. So it says if you get a tornado, how intense could that tornado be? And that's level one. It says so that level one is up to EF2, and then level two on the right side, that's EF3 possible. And then intensity area number three would be EF4 or greater. So you don't want any of them, but that shows you if severe storms happen, how intense could they be? And then there's also these parameters as well for the wind threat, and it doesn't show any hatch marks for that or for the hail. So it just defines the areas a little bit better as far as how strong or intense the storms could get. Emmanuel says, I follow them a little bit. I mean, there's a ton of information if you're into severe storms and you want to know what's happening at the Storm Prediction Center. And they coordinate as well with the local weather service offices to produce these severe weather watches, whether it's a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch. They're in coordination with our local National Weather Service offices. All right, just wanted to point that out there. All right, let's fire it up. Let's take a look at the weather models here for you. We'll look at the latest high resolution rapid refresh weather model, which I kind of the latest version of that. I actually liked the look of it. Not that I want severe storms, but it seems pretty plausible with what it was showing. Let's see here. Let's go to the HRRR reflectivity. Okay, so later on this afternoon, nothing really happening. There could be a passing sprinkle or an isolated shower, but most areas are dry. We'll expand out our view. Again, the severe weather threat for later today and tonight is off to our northwest. Those are supercells up there around northwestern Indiana and Chicago. Could be a little kind of a mini tornado outbreak up that way. So you can see those storms banging up here in northern Indiana and up in northern Illinois. So closer to the area of low pressure. That's where it's going to be for today. No severe threat for us today. There you can see that all up to the northwest of us for tonight. This is 1 a.m. in the morning. Then it starts to move a little bit closer during the early morning hours. So now we're starting to see some development over our region. This is at around 5 o'clock in the morning. So, before your alarm clock goes off tomorrow, we might start to hear some rumbles of thunder, some gusty winds. Can't rule out a severe thunderstorm with this. Low threat of a tornado as we start off our early Wednesday in southern Indiana. Notice this is mainly an Indiana thing for the morning round. Let's go to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it's getting busier. And I would like to see just some globs of rain around the area tomorrow morning. That would settle things down for the afternoon. But we're just going to have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. So a busy March 11th right here. So this is at 8 o'clock in the morning. This has been showing kind of a consistent signal around mid-morning. This is 9 a.m. Could be some strong winds moving through. Again, some very heavy rainfall, ponding of water on the roads. Some isolated damaging winds here. This is the morning round tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Some pretty strong ones there. We go to 11 o'clock. Round one begins to move off. Here's noon tomorrow. Still some scattered showers around. This is 1 p.m. tomorrow. And then we see the actual cold front starting to move in, and this could give us some renewed convection or thunderstorms around the area. This is at around 3 o'clock. But the energy, notice in Indiana, is wiped out. It's been churned over. So Indiana's threat, again, I think mainly in the morning time, and then Kentucky's threat is more in the afternoon. So now we're going to 4 o'clock, and there you can see the stronger thunderstorms over much of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. This is around 5 o'clock. And then around 6 p.m. So round one and round two, with this model solution, Indiana round one, Kentucky mostly round two. I'm going to look at the NAM 3 kilometer just for the fun of it. For tomorrow morning as well, it shows more of this is around 6 a.m. The HRRR had more activity, stronger thunderstorms around 6 o'clock than this NAM weather model, but it also shows at least a morning round of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Doesn't look as robust as the HRRR necessarily. And then it has a stronger afternoon line moving through. This is around 3 o'clock. So it doesn't do as much with the morning and has the afternoon looking a bit stronger than the HRRR weather model. So I kind of lean towards things being worked over Indiana in the morning time, won't be as strong in the afternoon. And then this shows the potential for the strong storms, this line moving through Kentucky. This is around 6 p.m. in the afternoon and early evening. So either way, mainly an afternoon, early evening thing for Kentucky. Watching out in the morning, possibly in the afternoon for Indiana. Hope this is making sense. These complicated systems can throw a wrench at you and make it pretty confusing sometimes. But then later in the evening time, I'd say around sunset, that threat really ending for most of us around the area, and that line moving off to the east. And as we go into our Thursday morning, it is going to be breezy out there. Let's bring up a wind gust map. I'm going to back this up here as the storms are moving through our area. So these are the surface wind gusts showing up over 50 miles per hour. There's a lot of wind energy with this system. I'm bringing up the winds at around 5,000 feet. So this is the low-level jet that is coming around with this system. So 3 p.m. Let's bring up the strongest portion of this low-level jet. Let's go back to the morning time, actually. Let's see what fires up here for us. All right, so this is the heart of the low-level jet tomorrow morning moving in, and this could really power these storms. Look at this. This is not far off the ground or above the treetops. This is when you see the planes flying into Muhammad Ali International Airport, these are the winds not too far above those planes. So this can translate down to the ground. It can be like a conduit, a channel to get these winds that are just above the surface down to the ground. So some damaging straight line wind gusts are going to be possible. This is at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. What we want is there to be a stable layer that keeps it like a barrier and keeps those winds up aloft. But that's a pretty nasty low-level jet right there. Over 70, 80 mile per hour winds at 5,000 feet. And then the low-level jet begins to move off to the northeast later in the afternoon. So that's good that the second round doesn't have the power of that low-level jet. But there is some unstable air to work with. Let's go back in time here. This is just looking at one of the ingredients, the fuel for the thunderstorms at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this is joules per kilogram. And so this is the energy, over 1,000 joules per kilogram. There's enough to work with. Plenty of gasoline, plenty of fuel for the storms to become strong as they move through. So definitely want to watch out tomorrow morning. There's a lot of ingredients there. And then if that works things over tomorrow morning, and then it wouldn't be as bad for the afternoon round. So that's kind of what it's looking like here for tomorrow. As far as rainfall totals go, I think we could see I don't think this one has rainfall total. Let me bring up the GFS weather model. We're going to go into that anyway with the longer range data. So total precipitation, I would say about 1 to 2 inches. There's a little inch amount. So the ground is fairly saturated. There could be some rising rivers, creeks, and streams, and watching out for that certainly at times tomorrow. Mary Dale, I love hearing you explain the different weather happenings. You're very welcome. We can get as weather nerdy as you want to go here, as we have no time limit. That's the big difference here between the old TV days and the weather streaming days. Now we can take our time. All right, temperatures, apparent temperatures for Thursday morning. There's your wind chills in the 20s. Why aren't you plotting down there? There you go. So there you go. Wind chills in the 20s Thursday morning. And it should be feeling better later in the afternoon. Thursday afternoon, I think we'll be up around 50 degrees. Okay, let's look at some good news. After all of that fun tomorrow, a wild Wednesday of weather, let's take a look at our Friday is going to be quiet. We're around 60 degrees. As we go into our Saturday, the 14th, improving conditions. Look at that air mass change right there. That gets us well into the 60s with sunshine. Again, perfect parade weather for the St. Patrick's Parade. The chilly weather going back north. Enjoy that. And how long can we hold off the next front? Okay, so this is at 5 p.m. Sunday. Again, selfishly, I've got a morning golf scramble, so I think I'm going to be in good shape Sunday. This also has 60s, low 70s across the area for Sunday. But you can see the front off to the west. That'll drop us to some ugly wind chills Monday morning and maybe a switch over from rain Sunday night to some light snow Monday morning. You heard it. I didn't want to say it, but some snow potential Monday morning. And let's see it on the maps here. We're going to bring up the reflectivity first. So there's Sunday at 5 p.m. Now, I will say the European weather model just a little bit later. Most of the rain coming in Sunday evening. So a late Sunday rain kind of deal there. And then let's bring in the colder air on the back side of this. And let's switch it over to the precip type. And it's hard to see, but there's a little bit of white coming down on the backside. That would be some flurries, maybe a little bit of light snow here and there. Really no impact from that. We'll be above freezing Monday, but it'll feel like freezing, mid to upper 30s. In fact, let's go back to our Monday morning here. Oh, ugh, not looking good. Those are negative numbers in central Indiana. This is a wind chill in the teens. Winter not technically over with just yet, beginning March 20th. Not this Friday, the next Friday. So there you go. Hey, Perry, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, the weather can be fairly simple if you break it down to its ingredients. But it can also be very complicated. You can make it as complicated as you want. So a winter like Monday morning. Here's our Monday afternoon wind chills. Oh man, still rough. And that's because it's going to stay pretty breezy. This shows 20 to 30 mile per hour winds on Monday with the cold weather. It's going to be a raw, cold start to our next week. So soak up the warmth, the near record warmth out here for today. All right, going back to the wind chills into our Tuesday morning next week, not looking any better. It is showing single-digit wind chills next Tuesday. Yeah, so in 70s today, and there you go. There you go, my friends. March weather madness over the next 7 days. So we're going to be fluctuating from 70s again today and tomorrow down to single digit wind chills early next week, single digits or teens. So it'll feel like 50 or 60 degrees colder early next week. You have severe storm potential tomorrow. You got some rain late Sunday and then the potential of maybe some flurries flying around for our Monday morning. There's a lot of illnesses out there. There have been schools that have closed, shut down recently because of illnesses. My son's school last Friday. This doesn't help the immune system out there. We got Beverly Haggis with the flu B in the comments. This is some ugly stuff here. I mean, that's why, I mean, I like March when, it's starting to warm up. We get hope of the warmer season ahead, but it's also March can be a pain in the neck weather-wise. All right. There's been a lot to talk about here at 10:47. We got the audio gremlins out of the way earlier. I know I had to be quiet a little bit earlier now, but we're it's a smooth ride here at 10:47 on this March 10th. And let's do a quick long range outlook, forecast recap, one last breakdown of the severe weather threat, and then we'll call it a Tuesday. So let me go ahead and bring up, and Erica's saying, "Go away, cold weather." Orlean will be in the 30s on Monday and Tuesday. Yes, and even in the 20s in the morning, and wind chills in the single digits and teens. So pretty brutal stuff early next week. All right, let's go back to our temperature map here. I'm going to go long range. So as you know, we got shorts and t-shirt Ben today. The good old Ben on them segment. All right, let's take a look at how long this cool pattern will last. If you've been watching the show, you know the big reason. It's because of the orientation of the jet stream. Look at that dive in the jet stream. So it is a trough over the eastern United States. It's a big ridge out west. If you want the warm weather, it is going to be all out here. We are back in a cooler pattern next week. How long will that ridge trough weather pattern last will show us how long the cooler weather pattern will last as well. So to show you how that correlates, there you go. Some chilly temperatures here. Let's go into, this would be not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, I believe, the 18th. Yeah. And it shows some cool conditions around the area. It's showing 30s and 40s. And look at the temps out west, nearing 100 over southern California and southwestern Arizona. That is your ridge west east trough. Going into Thursday the 19th, we might get a little nudge of some milder air trying to work back in, I hope, as we head towards the first day of spring. So that would be nice if the warmer weather can start to win out. That shows some lower 60s, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 19th. How about Friday, the first day of spring? Ooh, we're right on the edge. But look at this warmth out in Kansas and Oklahoma, showing some upper 80s and low 90s. Not that far out to the west. And then we're kind of on the edge of 50s and 60s as spring begins next Friday. Going into Saturday, the 21st, we're kind of on the edge of the trough. So it'll be a close call whether we can stay warm or it gets a little cooler. And then we go into the 22nd, Sunday the 22nd, looking out to the long range. That brings back the warm air. That would be nice. That shows 70s, 80s out west. So maybe the first weekend of March will start to warm things back up. No, the first weekend of spring will start to warm things back up. Monday the 23rd, I believe. Oh, that's nice and warm across the area. So that ridge has moved east, and we are under the bubble of warm air right there. Okay, we're going into the 24th. I think this is a Tuesday. And we are on the warm side. That shows 70s, if not 80s. And then I'm now going to the 25th of March. We stay warm. So there we go. And that looks like another front, maybe perhaps by the end of the month. Definitely a month that is roller coaster. It is madness. It is up and down. It is whiplash weather. It is a crazy ride. They just got to buckle up. So that has been your long range outlook. That has been the good old Ben on them segment right there. Looking here again, you can pop on extolmag.com/weather anytime you would like, with a look at our live show that is up right now. 65 degrees. Nice warm start to the day. I didn't even bring a jacket today. And we got a nice south wind today at around 10 to 20 that's going to pump our temperatures up about 20 degrees above normal into the 70s. So here's the brand new 7-day forecast that I've got posted for you. I've got the brand new weather story up that has a lot of the content that we just talked about if you want to take a longer look at that. It's all there for you. And let's live look outside again, and then we'll do a recap of the forecast. You can see the water levels. The normal pool's 12 feet. We're at 16 feet, so we're about 4 above normal, but we're still about 7 feet below flood stage. So that means we're getting some of the trunks of the trees there on the banks getting covered up in some water along the Ohio River's edge there. And the smaller river systems are going to be around flood stage tomorrow and into Thursday with more rain on the way. All right, let's bring it back up. Forecast recap. Get rid of this and add this to the stage. Here we go. So, our weather headlines for your March 10th: warm, breezy, mostly dry today. Can't rule out maybe a sprinkle or passing little shower, but most areas will be dry. Rain and storms tomorrow, a couple rounds. It looks like we really got to watch out in Indiana, round 1 tomorrow morning. And then that threat could be higher in Kentucky for round 2 tomorrow afternoon. Chilly Thursday, 20s wind chills Thursday morning. And then back to the 60s Saturday, maybe some lower 70s on Sunday, and then some rain Sunday night, switching to maybe a little bit of light snow Monday. This is the breakdown with the slides from the local National Weather Service here, the friendly folks there off Smyrna Road and Okolona Highview area. So this is tomorrow morning. You can see that threat greater in Indiana. There, some severe thunderstorms possible. Could be a spin-up tornado. We're going to watch that. And then notice the threat higher off to the east into Kentucky and Ohio for tomorrow afternoon. Either way, we're going to watch it close for you. St. Patrick's Parade, the weather's shaping up perfect. 3 until 8 p.m. Wave to me there at O'Shea's. I'll be one of the judges out there. I think Tony Vanetti is he's the MC out there. And in a couple weeks, we got Jessica's Journey Foundation benefit concert, Juice Box Heroes, the Suburbans, food, drinks, Melwood Arts Center. It is the Final Four weekend, but they're going to have all the games on the screens there. And you can get tickets at jessicasjourneyfoundation.com. Spring begins in just 10 days on March 20th. And as we saw in the long range outlook, perhaps we'll have a first spring weekend warm up by that time. Thunder over Louisville in 39 days, Derby Day in 53 days, and Memorial Day in 75 days, the unofficial start to summertime. Kind of a timely weather history today. In 1884, John Park Finley started to issue the first tornado predictions. It's a long time ago. And then 1986, a tornado outbreak over our region. 8 tornadoes touched down in central and southern Indiana. Our stupid jokes of the day. Hey, will it be sunny, cloudy, cold, warm, dry, rainy today? March? Yes. That sums up our forecast as well. Why are rivers very rich? They have 2 banks. What's a rabbit's favorite dance style? Hip hop. Moving on. 76 degrees near record high today. I think we'll see a little more sunshine later this afternoon, but overall mostly cloudy. We'll see how close we get to that record of 78 set back in 2009. South wind at around 10 to 20, and our sunset at 7:45. Our sunset times, 7:45 today, 8 p.m. sunset on March 26 in 16 days, and then we get the 9 p.m. sunsets May 31st, and the latest sunsets of the year as summer begins June 20th at 9:09 with the summer solstice. Our low tonight, 66 degrees. Some showers and thunderstorms possible, especially during the late overnight hours and really early tomorrow morning. So it could be, we'll see. If we get them to move in a little sooner, it could be a little bit of a rough ride for that Wednesday morning commute. And then our forecast here for tomorrow, 60s in the morning, 70 at noon, and then 72 for the afternoon high. And again, quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms around the area. 100% chance of that rain for tomorrow. The 7-day forecast, we begin to quiet down into the weekend. A very chilly start Thursday morning in the 30s, wind chills in the 20s, 51 for the high. 61 Friday, and then 65 and sunshine Saturday. I think a lot of the day is going to be dry Sunday, at least I hope, with the rain moving in Sunday evening, and then could switch over to some light snow flurries for Monday with a high of just 39 there. Lows in the 20s, so we could be looking at single-digit and teen wind chills early next week. I'm kind of tired talking about all this going into mid-March weather. Gonna be a little bit of a rough ride. So March came in like a lamb, and now the lion is coming in mid-month, as we refer to the old saying. All right, let's back this up a little bit. And we're about to wrap up the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the like or the share or the follow or the subscribe on YouTube. Again, that always helps the show go out to some more folks around the region. And again, we can't do it without these awesome people right here, that being Lions Roofing. If you get any issues with the severe weather, whether it's tomorrow or in the future, if you had issues, maybe that you don't even know about from the March 15th, 2025 hailstorm, you can get it checked out. You can get free quotes here online. 812-294-3595 is the number to call if you want them to come out to your house and check it out. They are based in Southern Indiana, but they got you covered throughout Kentucky and Indiana. And we want to thank our partners here at Ivy Tech Community College. Here, the Sellersburg campus is what we're talking about. It's Tuesday. That's when we remind you about Tuesdays at the Tech, where you can sign up for one-on-one help and get that tour of the campus and, making it accessible for you to get that post-secondary education. They've got dozens of 2-year programs that could turn into 4-year programs, but it might be a way for you to get that started. You belong here, as they say, and then you can click on the Ivy Experience and see again, some videos of all that they've got going on there. All right. And I want to thank our partners here at Clog Busters Plumbing. If all this rain this spring season causes any issues, or if there's any other issues you might have, hopefully those sump pumps are working good with this rainy pattern, clearing the way one flush at a time. It's Clog Busters with a zplumbing.com. They've got you connected to in the bottom right. Lots of ways to connect with them. You can see their services, and they've got you covered throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And Michael Long was on the show a little bit earlier. Again, if you have any questions, you want to get a quote, you maybe want a better relationship with your insurance provider, you can go to amfam.com, search Michael Long. It'll take you, boom, right to this page. You can call to get a quote, too. Let them know I sent you, 812-578-3072. Libs is getting going, the top asphalt paving contractor around. I'm in contact with them just about every day with a forecast to help them out. And they've got opportunities this year. A lot of jobs they have lined up. If you want a job or you know somebody that needs an opportunity, there's available employment opportunities right here at Libs. That's Libs with a B, paving.com. And I think we're going to try to get this guy up tomorrow. It is Wednesdays with Weddington. The journey begins here, Weddington Custom Homes. If you got any questions from around your house, we can put Brad on the hot seat, so to speak, and ask him some questions live on the show. I believe he'll be on tomorrow morning for Wednesdays with Weddington. That's Brad Weddington, our local custom home builder. There's a look at that mostly cloudy sky. It looks like a train rolling across the tracks there, and a plane going over as well. A lot of activity on the fallsoftheohio.org camera this morning. And there could be a lot of action tomorrow morning as well. I want to remind you, a lot of your resources are right here. Anytime you want to get them, extolmag.com/weather, interactive maps. There's watches, there's warnings if they ever pop up, and dozens of different weather layers that you can just play around with. If you're bored and you just want something to do, look at the high-definition satellite. There's some holes in the clouds here and there. And again, a lot of information for you. Boom, right there. All right. Any last questions in the comments? Let's see. Eric is saying, my daughter who never gets sick missed 4 days of school last week due to illness. Stay well, everyone. We were talking about that earlier because of all the ups and downs with this crazy weather. Definitely can cause that. Steve Givens, Forsythia winter next week. There you go. Exactly. There's all those social media. You've probably seen them where there's like 20 different seasons. This is like what, fall, spring, and then winter comeback next week. Karen Razor, glad Walmart had flannel shirts on clearance yesterday. I'll need them next week. Yeah, we're going to be breaking out the coats once again. Orlean, enjoy today. Not looking good for tomorrow. Yep, we'll be on and giving you updates tomorrow with that crazy weather. Whiplash weather for sure from Erica. And have a great day and stay dry. We will wrap it up with that. Hey, thanks for being a part of the show, guys. And again, thanks for the follow, the like, the subscribe there on YouTube. Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine as well. Thanks to all of our partners and sponsorships. And We'll be, again, probably rocking and rolling a bit for a wild Wednesday weather show tomorrow. So stay with us. We'll be on. If we have to go on early, we may do that. But we'll still have the same show at 10 a.m. If we have to go on in the afternoon, we might have to do that tomorrow too. So we'll be with you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Enjoy the warmth for now.